My dad got stabbed in the stomach once. Doc said, "Lucky you're fat." The fat beer gut stopped the knife from doing worse. Thinking face.
Had a fat friend of a friend with the same situation and response. Except this idiot accidentally stabbed himself in a breakfast cooking accident. To this day I have no idea how that guy manages to do his taxes each year.
I used to be a combat medic and we had some South African surgeons visiting to teach other surgeons about bullet wounds. They called fat, urban armor, and said you were more likely to survive getting shot at least.
Having said that, if you're twice as wide, you're also nearly twice as likely to be shot, as you're a larger target.
Depends on where you get stabbed. In the gut, absolutely. In the rib cage, possibly. In the neck, you'll be just as dead as anyone else. A few decades ago someone tried to stab Al Sharpton to death and he basically survived with minor injuries. The attempted murderer stabbed him many times in the abdomen and Sharpton was so fat that none of the stabs touched anything vital. He basically went to the hospital, got some stitches, and was sent home with a clean bill of health.
Fat gives plus constitution, meaning you can tank more damage, but being skinny gives plus agility and ability to evade attacks altogether.
My opinion. The best way to survive a knife fight is to run away. If you're overweight then they gone, catch you pretty easy.
My very overweight father-in-law is always showing me all the knives he has built into his belt buckle or shoe. Like he wouldn't get stabbed 20 times before being able to pull one out.
The chances of getting a knife wound are lower than getting diabetes or other weight-related illnesses. So if it's about wanting to stay alive, continue your diet. And it totally depends where the knife wound is.
Also, mostly depends upon if the knife wound is.
So you base your diet off of chances of surviving a knife wound?
Don't we all? Do you decide a lot of life choices based off of being stabbed?
Remember, if you ever encounter a possible stabber, just ask this simple question: https://pics.me.me/quote-from-man-stab-www-khg-co-what-are-u-gonna-do-171167444.png.
Dogs with long fur seem to get decent protection from bites out of it, so you might consider wearing a big fur coat at all times instead.
You've already gotten a lot of good answers, but I wanted to add that you should absolutely continue your diet unless you have multiple people who are intent on stabbing you on a regular basis. Obesity kills people at much faster rates than blade violence. So, if you're bouncing clubs in London, maybe stay bulky. That being said, if you're too fat to run away from a knife, that's a far worse situation.
If you want to stay overweight, dude, don't look for justifications for it. Any puncture wound is going to be deeply traumatic, no matter the body composition.
They did a study on it. https://www.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov/pmc/articles/pmc673520/quote. Obese patients with abdominal stab wounds have longer loss than non-obese patients. Increasing BMI was an independent predictor of need for GI resection.
Translation for laymen PLS.
Sounds like you are pretty sure you're going to get stabbed at some point.
I am involved in a knife fighting fight club, so people get stabbed a couple times a week. Only a matter of time.
How big is the knife? Well, fat people are harder to kidnap.
Write free candy on the side of a van and the fat people come to you. Myth busted.
Are you planning to get stabbed? Also, best way to survive a knife is not being stabbed, e.g. running the fuck away.
As a fat guy, I laughed at the last guy who threatened me with a knife. You'll never hit a vital organ with that. I chuckled.
Trauma nurse here. Absolutely. Depending on stab wound location, but yes, I can't count how many overweight stab victims I've taken care of who have avoided injury to major organs and vessels due to their cushioning. Cardiac disease, diabetes, and high cholesterol kill exponentially more people annually than trauma. Those increase your risk for heart attack, stroke, kidney failure, and other preventable illnesses. Go on your diet. A knife wound is a hell of a lot rarer than illness from bad health. Don't base your diet around something like that. Even in the case of overweight versus lean, both sides have a somewhat equal chance of surviving. You might get luckier if you have more fat, but that's all it is. Luck.
BRB, paralyzing self to be lowered to the ground in case of lightning strike.
In theory, yes. There is chance a knife would be just a few too short to reach your liver due to all the fat you have. The more the better, I guess. Just like in surgery, you sometimes need longer instruments for fat people.